Hello and welcome to Expat View, where we're all about knowing and growing expat women. I'm Renee Lederman and I'm co-hosting with Brice from our living room to yours. Have you ever felt isolated and anxious because you weren't really comfortable speaking a new language? Well, today our guest is Mariam Haddad, and her company is English Performance. She works with people all over the world, helping them to communicate better. Welcome.
Thank you.
Also, Luz Wynne, her student. Welcome, Luz.
Thank you.
Mariam, can you tell me a little about your company? How did it get started?
Wonderful. Well, Performance English created itself in a funny way from a project. I had largely been training a lot of people more on the side of public speaking. You know, a lot of people are afraid to speak in public, and I was invited by an international company that had 60 different nationalities speaking English as the main language of interface. And they asked me to come in and to create a program for some of their engineers who needed to speak at a world conference and to be heard and to be understood. So I created the program Say It With Power, and from there Performance English birthed itself.
Oh, Saying It With Power. I'm curious about that. Can you tell me a little more about Saying It With Power?
Yes, well, in regards to the non-native English speaker, a lot of times the feeling of speaking in a language other than their own has given them the sense that they've lost their inner voice, their ability to say their message clearly, to be understood, because when they're interfacing in that language, they get a lot of, I'm sorry, could you say that again? What? You know, and it really starts to take away their confidence. So we really strive to reestablish that innate confidence you would have in your native language while working with issues such as improving English pronunciation, such as it's spoken in North America, improving the connection of the ear, the brain, how the voice creates those sounds of the words themselves so that they will be understood and connected with. So we want people to find their power in how they're saying things.
Well, Mariam, it really sounds like you're passionate about this work. Not only that, you really are helping. It's a win-win. You're helping people around the world to feel more comfortable and confident.
Yes, that's true. I've had people in my classes, both at companies and outside at where I run more private programs, and when I hear I'm not embarrassed to open my mouth anymore, or even just something simple like, I didn't have to tell somebody my address 20 times, you know, or I'm being understood on the telephone, or my boss is really happy because they can understand me. And then a lot of my working professionals, they will eventually send their spouses to me. And then I get to really work with a lot of women that are very special and very smart and very capable, and just feel like they've been left behind. They've made a choice to support their families, to come to a new country. They've gotten the children situated, they've gotten their husbands situated, and then there's them. And they want to be able to move into the workforce, but they're prohibited from doing that because language skills may not be up to snuff in North American English, or they're not hearing and comprehending. So I'm happy to help with that.
What a valuable thing you're doing.
I love it. It brings a lot of meaning. I don't feel like I have to work. It's a lot of fun.
Great, thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Luz,
Yes.
how long have you worked with Mariam?
For 3 months.
Yes.
Around 3 months.
And how did you hear about her?
I was a referral for her, for someone that she helped before, and it was terrific.
How did you decide that you needed help, her services?
When I'm originally from a country, I speak Spanish. Then I'm going to have the Spanish accent. When I arrived here for the first time, I was thinking, do I speak in English or Spanish? Like always people say around there. Then I think that if you really want to be a professional in business, you need to correct your English accent, and she's working on it. She's still working on it, but I feel super confident that with Marianne, I can get whatever I want in the level that I want.
So what I hear you saying is that your confidence level is higher, is stronger?
Yes, in the beginning, I didn't even want, it's when you feel that repeat 2 or 3 times because people don't understand when you speak. And when you get the tools to pronounce correctly, to speak slowly if you need to, or any other technique to apply in the sense that someone else can understand when you speak, wow, big difference.
I can tell. I can you're doing it right now.
Thank you.
You're very confident.
Thank you. I am.
You're very confident.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. And Marie?
Actually, Luz, I was curious, what sort of strengths and what do you have, what do you bring to the table that you need to actually be able to work with your language challenges?
Well, when I came here to America, I didn't speak English at all. And I was pronouncing words that they could be like bad words rather than good words. That's a big thing. Honestly, when you speak in a multicultural city like Houston is, you have many different accents, all right? But a business is different, and you want to deal in English that can be understood by anyone, different cultures, and that's where Mariam for me is really excellent in the way that she does the technique to teach you, what you need to correct, the way that people can understand you very well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Then your level of the confidence grows and everything grows.
So having that supportive person helping you through it really does help.
Yes, it does.
It does.
Totally. It does.
So not everybody gets to have a Mariam. So what do people do if they don't have you, a vocal trainer? What kind of online resources or other resources could people access if they have some kind of language challenges?
I would tell you to actually go and find songs in the language and the accent that you want to replicate. Because our program that I created is a mix of several things. It's a mix of linguistics, of speech pathology, of vocal production from singing. But the main thing that I find is that people forget that language is music. And so things like the rhythm and the stress patterns and just even getting the voice to relax around the sounds happens in a much more natural way in singing. So I would get, if you wanted the North American accent, I would find children's songs that are sung by Americans, get a copy of the lyrics and listen to them over and over. And then listen to radio programming just constantly to strengthen your ear. Because if your ear can hear it, you'll be able to then start finding your way to doing it yourself.
And that's where we reproduce it that way.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Maybe I need to do that with my Kiwi Australian New Zealand. Sounds like a great plan. And it does sound like great resources out there. People can actually find things themselves.
Absolutely. And I am available via Skype. And a part of our developmental plan for this year is to be able to get webinars rolling. So
wonderful.
Hope you'll look us up, and if we can assist you in any way, we'd love
Sounds
to do
very
it.
exciting. Very, very exciting. So I guess you can say that anybody can learn a language if they try hard enough, but it's how we communicate with that language that makes all the difference in the world. Some people say, oh, you can move to any old country and you can, you don't need to learn the language, just make yourself understood. But that's not necessarily the case, because we know that true connection starts when we invest in speaking and communicating in a language that the way the people around us are speaking that language, and that makes all the difference in the world.
I always say, well, we all speak English, but we don't speak the same language.
So true. Thank you so much to Mariam and to Luz for coming and visiting with us today. And if you'd like to find out more information about these two lovely ladies and what they do, you can visit us on our website at expaTView.com. And also you can find out more information about supporting our global sisters there as well at the Kiva Foundation. We also would love you to come onto Facebook and ask us what kind of challenges you've had with language in different countries that you've lived in and how you've overcome those challenges. Give some people ideas about how you could actually do that and how they could do that. And last but not least, next week we're going to be talking to Deb, who is a counsellor and she's also an art therapist. And she has been a third culture kid and taken all of her experiences as a third culture kid and used them obviously as an adult and also in her counselling, and we look forward to talking to her. Thank you to everyone here today, and mostly thank you to you, our viewers, from our living room to yours.
Thank you to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.